Frank the Pest Geek here with Nature Pest. And it seems like cool season diseases have started. We're in the middle of, what is it? We're November 15th right now? 18th. Today's November 18th. And take a look at this. I'm going to show you this house that we just, we come here every 2 months. The grass is pretty good. But look at the start of the disease so you can identify what a disease starts to look like when it's first happening. And this is when you first have to treat it. So when we know we have homes that are chronic with disease and have a disease problem, we're coming in once a month. But if it's not a chronic problem, we're coming in twice a month, every 2 months to do their service. Because disease fungicides will only last about 14 days here in South Florida preventively. And if we treat it with a fungicide, in 2 weeks we got to check and make sure that it did get cured, because if it doesn't, it keeps spreading and we need to know, or we have a new patch. You can do two things. You can spray the entire lawn, which gets very expensive, or you can spot treat just the area that is affected and hope it doesn't have another one in 2 weeks where you're at. That's just a risk you take of doing disease control in South Florida, especially in the winter. Check this out. All right, so you can see here, there is the disease is starting. This is what it looks like. It starts out usually in a small center like this one, and then it just spreads out. This is large patch disease. And what will happen, these little patches that you see here, and then you see that one there and that one there, eventually they unite and they make a giant patch. So if I don't treat this right now and I don't use a fungicide, here's another little patch over here, and there's another one just starting. You can see that this looks more like probably a urine mark from the dog, but there is no other issues with this lawn. There's another little patch right there, and then over here you see it's pretty decent. They got a big dog that runs around in this yard. He does cause a lot of damage. All those lower fronds, he chewed them and he destroyed the ficus trees. So he's a big guy, and you can see some discoloration here. We don't know if that's urine because he likes to go there, but that's what large disease looks like, large patch. So now we're going to treat this with a fungicide where you're going to use mostly azoxystrobin. It's the most effective. Chances are with one application it will, but the next time the temperature drops, let me switch over here. So this is an intermatic. We check it. We set it up already. As you can see, 2 pins. Those are 12 minutes. And we're twice a week. It's only 2 pins lifted up across from each other twice a week. This is more than enough. We do this for all our clients every year. The next time the temperature drops, look at the sky today. We're going to get, let me go behind me here. It's overcast. It's cool. It's if it decides it's going to drizzle, that's going to make disease a lot more susceptible, especially. So we're looking at lower temperatures. This is why we start lowering the water this time of year to twice a week, 12 to 15 minutes, depending if it's a pin system or if it's a digital system, because water influences a lot on disease management. So you want to start lowering the water requirement to maybe 15 minutes twice a week. Temperatures are not going to go up, they're going to continue to go down, and that hopefully helps in disease management, so we don't have to keep applying fungicide. If you have irrigation on every day, or you have it on for 30-45 minutes 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to increase the likelihood of disease. You want to irrigate first thing in the morning. You don't want to irrigate at night, because you don't want the grass sitting there all night with water and humidity, the temperature's dropping, and giving it basically you have a petri dish of growing disease. Do not, if you have a lot of weeds, do not do a fungicide and an herbicide application, because if there's a disease, it's gonna make it worse. Do not apply nitrogen at this time of year if you've got disease, because that's gonna make it worse. You want to add is maybe potassium at this time of year. You want to wait out November. You want to start adding your potassium, laying it down, and that's going to help defense, believe it or not, against the disease. So it will help potassium applications in the winter, over the winter months in South Florida. It does help the lawn survive. Hey, this is Frank the Pest Geek wishing you a spectacular day.